On September 11th, millions of Americans who rely on Social Security income and Social Security disability insurance are paying close attention to their mailboxes and bank accounts. This month is bringing an important update that many seniors, retirees, and disabled citizens have been waiting for. The focus is on direct support payments, with amounts reaching $1,400 and even $2,400 for qualified individuals. For people living on fixed incomes, these numbers mean far more than just figures on paper. They represent groceries, medical supplies, rent, transportation, and the ability to maintain independence in a world where costs are rising faster than ever. The distribution of SSI and SSDI payments follows a carefully structured calendar. Each month, payments are sent out based on the date of birth, eligibility status, and sometimes additional federal or state programs. September is especially significant because new payments are lined up for release, and the amounts being discussed are larger than what many expected. This gives new hope to seniors and disabled individuals who often feel left behind when it comes to financial support. People are looking closely at this wave of payments to see if it truly helps them meet daily needs, or if it will just barely cover another round of rising bills. For someone living on SSI, the average monthly benefit may not always feel like enough. Rent alone can eat up half, if not more, of the support provided. Add to that the cost of utilities, food, and basic health care, and the pressure becomes clear. This is why the announcement of $1,400 checks for some recipients is creating such strong interest. It is not just about receiving money, it is about receiving a lifeline in the middle of financial uncertainty. For SSDI recipients, the $2,400 checks are equally crucial. These individuals often cannot work due to disability, and while disability benefits are meant to replace lost wages, many people still struggle to balance what they receive against the high costs of living in America today. The path to these payments is never automatic. Eligibility is based on specific requirements. SSI, or Supplemental Security Income, is designed for people with limited income and resources. It is not based on prior work history, but on financial need. SSDI, or Social Security Disability Insurance, is different. It is earned through work credits and payroll contributions before disability made it impossible to continue working. Both programs are overseen by the Social Security Administration, and both play a vital role in protecting vulnerable populations. When news of larger payments surfaces, recipients naturally ask who qualifies and when will the money arrive. September 11th is the highlighted date for this round of payments. For many, it marks the arrival of direct deposits into bank accounts. Others may still receive paper checks in the mail, though direct deposit has become the fastest and safest method. Recipients often plan their budgets around these dates, making the arrival of funds as important as the amount itself. For people who have been counting down to this day, the $1,400 and $2,400 figures represent more than just money. They represent security, dignity, and the chance to breathe easier in a month where bills never stop coming. These payments are not random gifts. They are the result of structured programs built over decades of policy, debate, and reform. The Social Security Administration has steadily adjusted benefits based on cost of living increases, known as COLAs, and other adjustments designed to reflect the realities of inflation. In 2023 and 2024, inflation has remained a pressing concern. Food prices, medical co-pays, and even transportation costs have continued to climb. Seniors and disabled Americans often live on fixed budgets that cannot easily absorb sudden changes. For them, the release of larger checks is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Every payment cycle brings its share of stories. Seniors who have been stretching their medication, hoping to make a bottle last until the next check, can finally refill prescriptions without fear of running out. Families supporting a disabled loved one can pay for home care, equipment, or therapy sessions that might otherwise have been delayed. These are not abstract stories. They are the lived experiences of millions of people who depend on SSI and SSDI. When the September payments land, they will ripple through households in ways that improve health, stability, and peace of mind. There is also the issue of planning ahead. While the September checks may be larger than usual, recipients know they must still manage carefully. It is easy to feel a rush of relief when a larger deposit shows up in the account, but it must last until the next payment date. Financial literacy and cautious spending are key. Many seniors share tips with one another on how to stretch every dollar, from shopping at discount stores to making use of community food programs. These support networks remind us that while the federal payments are essential, the strength of community plays an equally large role in helping people get through each month. The broader public sometimes underestimates the importance of these payments. For those who do not depend on SSI or SSDI, $1,400 or $2,400 might sound like a nice bonus, but for those living on these benefits, it is the difference between stability and hardship. It is the difference between heating a home in the winter and shivering under blankets. It is the difference between eating balanced meals and skipping dinner to make sure there is enough for tomorrow. Every dollar matters, and every payment date is circled on the calendar as a day that brings temporary relief. The release of checks on September 11th is not the end of the story. More payment rounds will follow for other groups of beneficiaries. Social Security operates on a cycle that spreads payments across the month, depending on birth dates and program categories. For example, individuals with birthdays on specific weeks of the month will see their deposits arrive at different times. This ensures the system does not overload and that funds are distributed in an organized manner. Knowing these schedules helps recipients prepare and avoid unnecessary stress. Clear communication from the Social Security Administration plays a vital role in maintaining trust and reliability. For some recipients, questions remain. How do they confirm eligibility for the $1,400 or $2,400 payments? What happens if a deposit does not show up on time? The Social Security Administration provides tools online, through phone support, and at local offices to address these issues. Direct deposit tracking, benefit verification letters, and official notices help recipients stay informed. Misinformation can spread quickly, so relying on official sources is critical. Seniors and disabled individuals are encouraged to double-check details through SSA's official channels rather than relying on rumors or unofficial posts online. Families often get involved in these processes. Adult children may help their parents track payments, while caregivers ensure that funds are used wisely for healthcare, nutrition, and housing. For disabled individuals who cannot manage finances independently, representative payees are sometimes appointed to handle benefits responsibly. These safeguards ensure that payments truly serve the best interests of recipients, preventing exploitation or mismanagement. The September payments, whether $1,400 or $2,400, carry extra weight because they arrive during a time of heightened economic challenge. Families know that every dollar must be carefully directed to where it is needed most. The story of Social Security in America is long and complex. It began in the 1930s as a response to the Great Depression, when seniors were left with little to no financial security in old age. Over the decades, programs expanded to include disability benefits, survivors' benefits, and supplemental income for the most vulnerable. Each adjustment was made with the idea that no American should be left without support when unable to work. The payments arriving this September are not isolated events. They are part of a legacy that stretches back generations, a promise kept alive through changing times. Looking ahead, recipients know that these payments are both vital and fragile. Policy debates in Congress often touch on the future of Social Security funding, with concerns about long-term sustainability. Beneficiaries hope that reforms will continue to protect and strengthen the program, rather than cut it. The trust placed in these checks is built on the understanding that government support should be reliable, fair, and timely. For now, the focus is on September's payments and the direct relief they bring to households across the nation. As the deposits hit accounts on September 11th, the relief will be real and immediate. A grandmother might finally pay her overdue utility bill, keeping the lights on and the refrigerator running. A veteran living with disability might replace a broken wheelchair part, restoring mobility. A family caring for a disabled child might buy healthy food without worrying about running short before the end of the week. These small but powerful stories reveal why SSI and SSDI are more than just programs. They are lifelines that sustain dignity, independence, and hope. The September 11th payments are reminders that, despite economic struggles, there is still support in place for those who need it most. Each check, whether $1,400 or $2,400, is not just a financial transfer, but a message. Society has not forgotten its seniors and its disabled citizens. These are the people who built communities, worked hard before disability struck, and contributed to the nation in countless ways. Now, at a time when they need help the most, the system is stepping in to provide. As the day unfolds and recipients confirm that the money has arrived, there will be a shared sense of relief across the country. Conversations with neighbors, phone calls between family members, and quiet moments of gratitude will mark this payment day. The money may not solve every problem, but it provides a crucial bridge to the next cycle. It gives people the strength to keep going, knowing that support will continue. In uncertain times, that reliability is worth more than gold. And so, September 11th becomes more than just a date on the calendar. It becomes a day of reassurance for millions who depend on SSI and SSDI. It is a day when financial stability, however temporary, returns to households under strain. It is a day when promises are kept,